Right, welcome to the solution to exercise 3-2, which is on page 92 here. So it says, take the information from exercise 3-1, which I've got here, and use the least squares regression, comment on the reliability of using occupancy days as an allocation base. Okay, so looking at the data, first thing we're going to do is we are going to go to data analysis, regression, and now we look at inputting our ranges. Okay, so remember, Y is always dollars. So expense, and we also have to make sure we've got this labels things ticked here. The X range is the other variable. And now we can click OK. And this is what we get. Right, so it spits this out. And let's make this a little bit bigger here. Okay, so what exactly is this telling us? Well, the first place we can go look is under the coefficients heading here. And let's just highlight that. We've got some interesting numbers. So the intercept, well, that is our fixed cost here, right? So $12,272.73. The variable cost is 60 cents per day. And, okay, so if we were going to write out a cost formula for all of this then, it would look like Y equals, so the fixed cost now, 12,272 plus 0.60, and instead of rounding it, you can do 0.603 x. Okay, you don't have to keep this to the penny. Presumably x is going to be a large number, and that penny may end up, or that rounding piece may end up being significant. So if we then looked at in requirement number 2 for exercise 3-1, it says using the cost formula you derived above, what amount of custodial supplies expense would you expect to be incurred at an occupancy level of 11,000 occupancy days? Okay, so we got our formula here, right? So we would expect 12,272 plus 0.603 times 11,000, which is 12,272 plus 6633, which equals $18,905. Okay, so now the next part of the question was comment on the reliability of using occupancy days as an allocation base. So really what we're saying, okay, is how good a fit is occupancy days as a predictor of this custodial supplies expense? Well, what's the measure that we have to make those sorts of determinations? If you recall, it's the R squared, right? And the R squared in this particular case is pretty darn good, 96 or 96%. So that says 96% of the change in custodial supplies expense is caused by a change in occupancy days. That's extremely high, and as a consequence, we can say we've got a great deal of faith in, or a high degree of confidence in the ability of the occupancy days to predict custodial supplies expense. And that concludes the problem.